So how do you raise capital for a business? Let's say you want to buy a business, you want to invest in a business. How do you raise capital to get money for that business so you don't have to come out of pocket, but you can create cash from that business acquisition? Let's find out how. Hey there, Mike here from Titanium Capital Investments and Power Up Real Estate. My greatest passion on this channel is to help investors just like you raise capital, buy businesses, buy real estate so you can build generational wealth. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. Join our family of entrepreneurs just like you, and also turn on the bell notification so you get notified every time we do a video just like this one. So in this video, we're going to talk through how to raise capital for business. We're in the middle of doing this right now, where I'm buying a $1.1 million business and I'm raising capital to do so. And I'll walk through those metrics at the end. It's really cool how we did this and structured this, and you can structure it just like this as well, so that you can generate capital and not have to come out of pocket for any of these deals. Most business deals can be no money out of pocket as long as you do it the right way. They're not zero down deals because you can't really buy a business, especially with debt, zero down. They require something down, but it doesn't have to come from you. And we're going to talk about that. One of the things I want you to understand are the difference between angel investing and venture capitalism. And then I also want you to understand equity investing versus a private lender. These are four different types of investors when you're looking to get into deals that I want you to understand. An angel investor is usually a single individual, and the reason they call it angels, or a little angel that comes around and helps you out in time of need. So an angel investor is usually an individual that will invest anywhere from $25,000, $100,000, $150,000 into your deal personally for either, usually it'll be a rate of return. They'll get a return on that money plus maybe some upside or some equity in the deal. And then a venture capitalist is often a firm. It's a firm of people. They go raise a bunch of capital and then they invest that capital into deals, and you can pitch to a venture capital firm and actually grow a company. So this is more of a corporate feel. This is more of an individual feel. And then the difference below the line, and by the way, these can have, an angel or a venture capitalist can have equity or private lending components of both. Here's the difference. Equity investing means they actually take a percentage of equity in the business. They take a percentage of equity in the business. A private lender, they're just like a bank. They're just like a bank. They just give you money and you pay them back an interest rate. Now, they might have what's called points. Points is basically a way, like an origination fee, or they may say, I will give you $100,000 at 6% interest plus 2 points. And what 2 points means is 2% of the overall loan or the overall deal. And so if you're buying it for $300,000, 2 points is going to be X number. It's going to be 2% of, $300,000, right? So, which is like 60 grand. It's not 60 grand, it's like 6 grand. And so, but the point is, this is private lending is a percentage-based operation. Equity investing is an equity-based. They're going to take equity. A lot of times in our real estate deals, we do primarily here, we do equity deals. We don't do a lot of private lending deals because it's long-term investing, but they get equity in the deal, and investors are going to make a lot more money here than they're going to make here. They're going to take a percentage of the deal, but they're not necessarily going to get upside. Now, sometimes there is what's called a hybrid deal. A hybrid deal is I'm going to be a private lender and I'm going to give you a percentage, just like a bank. You're going to give me 6% on my money, and I want 6% equity in the deal or 10% equity in the deal. There is a hybrid. These are your I would say most expensive because you have to pay them back now and you have to pay them back later. Whereas equity, you pay all back later out of the profit of the deal. And private lending, if they get a percentage, you pay them whether you're making money or not. And that's a benefit. So when you're going to buy a business and you're going to do this, I want you to see that which type of investor is going to fit. Angel and VC, these are just titles. This is how it works is below, right? This is how it works down here below. So when you understand that, as we get into actually how to do this, I want you to understand what that actually looks like, because it's going to really help you understand if you're going to bring people in for a business acquisition, you understand how to structure the deal. So the very first thing you have to understand with the business is you have to define where the money, right? you have to define where the money's going to go. In business, there's a million different places that money can go. So for us, we usually, when we buy a business, it goes to two things. It goes to the down payment for the business, and it goes to operating capital, OC. So it goes for the DP, the down payment, and operating capital. So we might raise $100,000, $50,000 of that is down payment, $50,000 just goes right into the operating account so we can cover salaries until revenue starts coming in. So when you first have to define where the money is going to go, because when anybody's going to give you money for a business, they're going to want to know these few things. They're going to want to know, what am I funding here? Am I funding the down payment, or are you taking the down payment and I'm taking all the operating capital? So like, let's say sometimes, we'll put some money into the deal, for the down payment, and they'll put some money in for operating capital. There's a million ways to do this when you start raising capital for businesses, but I want you to understand structuring it the right way. You'll be able to buy companies left and right when you see how we structure this. So this is often how a deal is structured in the business world. So we use what's called SBA, Small Business Administration, SBA financing. We use SBA financing. And the reason we use SBA financing, it's really favorable in its terms towards buyers. So we bought this deal for $1.1 million, right? $1.1 million. Now, the bank, SBA, is going to give us 85% of that money. They're going to give us 85% of that money, meaning we need to come up with 15% of that money. And your entire business is ran by your calculator. So if you just look at this real quick, you go $1.11 million times 0.15 equals $165,000. So we need to come up with $165,000 in order to get this deal done, $165,000. Well, guess what? I did what's called a 10% seller carry. 10% seller carry. That means the seller is going to carry back 10%. So of the $1.1 million, $110,000, that's 10%, by the way, they're going to seller finance $110,000. That means at closing, I don't need to pay that money. I'm only getting a loan for 85%. So I need $110,000 that the seller is going to carry. Now, that means we have to bring 5%. And 5% is what? That is going to be $55,000. We need to bring $55,000 to this deal. $55,000 to this deal, okay? So we have to bring $55,000. That's for the down payment plus OC, operating capital, right? Plus OC, operating capital. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide this up so you can see this. So we've got $55,000 of operating capital. I'm sorry, $55,000 down payment plus operating capital. So we figured out about $45,000 would fund the operating capital. Well, what is that? That's $100,000. So we need about $100,000 to get into this entire deal, right? To get into this entire deal, we need about $100,000. So what I did is I went and found an investor to give that $100,000. And I'm paying him 10% per year plus 5% profit share. I'm paying him $10,000 per year plus 10% profit share. Now, 10% per year of $100,000 is what? 10 grand. That is about $833 a month. I'm paying him $833 a month for this $100,000. So $100,000, I'm paying him $833 a month, $833 a month, and then at 5 years, I need to pay back the $100,000. This is important to know that it's 10% what's called IO. This is really important. Interest only. I'm not paying any principal back. So then in 5 years, I'm going to pay back that $100,000. Now here's what I want you to see. I just acquired a company that generates $75,000 a year. Okay, I want you to walk this math with me. $75,000 a year in profit. And I'm going to pay 10 of that. I'm going to pay 10 of that to my loan guy, the guy that gave me the money. So now it makes $65,000 a year. Makes $65,000 a year. I'm going to be conservative and I'm going to take a 15%, or a $15,000, sorry, more than 15%. I'm going to take a $15,000 just in case money, and I'm going to say that this business is going to make me $50,000 a year. Here's what I want you to see. $50,000 a year for zero money. So here's what I want you to understand when you raise capital for businesses the right way. I structured it strong enough so if you see this, I'm going to generate $50,000 a year for no money. Now think about this. If you come back down to I'm paying him 10% per year plus 5% on profit. So think about this. So you come here. So if I'm making $65,000, I need to pay him another, not $6,500, about half of that, $3,250. So that's why I say $15,000 gives a slush fund. You never know. So $50,000, that's after I've paid him his profit, after I've paid him his interest, the business pays it. So when I say I pay him $10,000 a year, the business pays all of it. I don't pay anything. And I generate $50,000 a year. I generated $50,000 a year, and I didn't do anything with my money. So when people say, man, it takes money to make money. No, it doesn't. It takes strategy to make money. It doesn't take money to make money. I'm sick of people saying that. It doesn't take money to make money. This is what you need to know. So when you want to raise money for businesses, you need to structure it in a way, especially when you start, that's attractive. So what I've done with this person is I've said, I'm going to give you not only 5% profit share while I own the business, but for the first 3 businesses you buy with me, I'm going to give you 5%. Let me make it a little bit better 5 there. I'm going to give you 5% on the sale as well. I'm going to give you 5% on the sale of the business. So when I sell the business, he's going to make $10,000 a year plus 5% profit share. So if he makes $3,250, he's going to make 13%, if we don't grow at all, per year on his money. That's pretty good. Plus 5% at the sale. He's probably going to make close to 20% on his money. Where else are you going to do that? And guess what? It's a win-win. Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. People create win-wins. This is a win for my investor, and I would say it's a win for me. And I think it can be a win for you, but you got to structure it the right way. This is why we created the Private Money CEO program on how to raise capital. So you know how to structure deals, raise capital, so that you can get into businesses and real estate, zero money, out of pocket, so you can generate cash and not do any of the capital yourself, not do any of the capital yourself. I'll also put a link in the description to our Private Money Academy if you want to raise capital, but this is how you structure it for business. This is what I have found is the best way to get investors excited. And guess what? The longer you do this, you won't even have to give away the profit share. You'll just give away 10%. There's private lenders out there all day long that will loan at 10%. All day long. And so you'll be able to easily do this even without the profit share piece. Do the first 3 companies, do the first couple companies like this, and then you don't ever have to do that. But let me tell you again, this is how you build wealth. And by the way, the very first thing I'm going to do with the operator of that business is we're going to meet with the seller. We're going to hire a new operator for that business. And the first thing I'm going to do is see how we can get that number northeast. Because my goal is to grow that number from 50 to 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, and then sell the business. And let's say I make 50,000 a year for 3 years, made 150,000, and sell it, and I make $150,000 profit. I made $300,000 in 3 years, and I didn't put any money in the deal. This is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to see this. That's how you really raise money. Go into the description, click that link for a Private Money CEO Academy so you can raise capital like this. This was one phone call for me. One phone call. because I knew somebody who had 100 grand. I'm like, hey, this is an interesting opportunity. What do you think? He's like, heck yeah, I'm in. And so again, once you start raising capital, you can structure deals any way you want to. So make sure, we have a lot of videos on our channel about raising capital, about building businesses. Make sure you stick around, and I'll see you in the next one.